important that those who are his disciples are in it for the long run, that they will not waver nor give excuses why they falter. Because being a disciple is not easy. Meaningful, worthwhile, life-giving, yes. But being a disciple is never easy. There is a great cost to becoming a disciple. Just as a builder has to factor in if they have enough resources to build a tower, or he will be deemed a bad builder. Just like a king needs to consider the cost of going into battle with an enemy that has twice as many soldiers as him, or he will be deemed a bad and foolish king. Before we make a full commitment to becoming a disciple of Jesus, we must consider if we're able to be a disciple for life. We must consider if we're able to finish what we started. If we're not, we might be deemed foolish. There are things that we have to give up in order to be a disciple. There are sacrifices that need to be made. Once we are a disciple of Christ, we have to give up the notion that we can ever quit, because that is foolish. And such an act not only looks bad on us, but also reflects poorly on God. Doesn't matter how angry we are, how disappointed we are, we cannot quit. We cannot fall short of this calling because what is being asked of us is hard or uncomfortable. Instead, we must break through the awkwardness and uncomfortable feelings in order to fulfill our call to become a disciple. Because it's only when we push beyond those self-imposed limitations that we are able to grow and stretch ourselves in amazing ways. We have to give up the notion that we ought to live comfortable lives, because nothing about living for Christ is comfortable. As God challenges us time and time again to reach beyond our comfortable boundaries in order to serve those around us. And I wonder what other sacrifices need to be made in order to follow God. We must be so committed to being a disciple of Christ that we'll go to the length of disowning our loved ones for the sake of following Jesus. We must be so committed to being a disciple of Christ that we'll go to the extreme of selling all that we possess, all that we know, if we had to, for the sake of following Jesus. Now, does Jesus literally want us to do those things? No. But a disciple must be so committed to following God that the family, loved ones, and material possessions prevent them from following God to the fullest degree, then priorities need to be reevaluated. And one needs to be honest that they are truly committed to God before anyone and anything else. God and the church would do little good with half-hearted, finicky disciples. But God can work wonders if there's a group of people who are wholeheartedly ready to follow God with their whole lives and holding nothing back in the process. When Christians and churches are truly open to the Spirit and truly committed to spreading and sharing the love of God, amazing things do happen. Make no mistake, they do. Because lives are changed, because people are walking alongside each other and are engaged in honest conversations. Communities are transformed because meaningful work is being done to bring new life into that place. And isn't that why we're here in the first place? To do the work of God as revealed through Jesus Christ. And that's exactly what Jesus was getting at in our scripture. Nothing should prevent us from doing the work of God now. And nothing should prevent us from continuing to do God's work throughout the whole of our life. Let's make no mistake, we will falter along the way because we're human after all. We won't always get it right. But when we are truly willing to devote our whole selves to God, there will be many times when the Spirit of God works in mysterious ways for the good of all of God's children. At the end of the day, that's what we're here to be committed to spreading the good news of the love of Christ through service to all. Nothing more, nothing less. And the whole church said,